Good morning, all of you. So today, let us discuss of the differences between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So you may be knowing a lot of things about micro and macro. Who has coined the term micro and macro? Do you remember the name of that Nobel laureate who coined the term micro and macro? It's not Alfred Marshall. Alfred Marshall is the father of microeconomics. Ragnar Frisch has coined the term. Anyway, we will see the basics of both micro and macroeconomics and also some of the major differences. Here, as an introduction, here it is given what is microeconomics and what is macroeconomics. As all of you know that microeconomics is a study of economics at an individual level. It's a firm, an individual, or a single economic unit. And macroeconomics is just opposite. It is, on the other hand, it's a study of national economy as a whole. And that's why we say that macroeconomics always deals with aggregates. And microeconomics deals with specific units, individual units. And Alfred Marshall is considered as the father of microeconomics, and James Keynes, the greatest economist, Keynes is known as the father of macroeconomics. Now, as we said in the beginning, Ragnar Frisch, he is a Nobel laureate in the very first year in which Swedish Academy began to offer Nobel Prize for Economics. In 1969, along with Jan Tinbergen, he was awarded Nobel Prize. And in the year 1933, he has differentiated between micro and macroeconomics. And in Greek, this macros, is a Greek term. That means, macro means, big, large. Now, here is a clear-cut demarcation between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Have a look on the slide. Microeconomics is a study of individual units, and at the same time, macroeconomics, it's a study of economy as a whole. And that's why we say it's a study of aggregates. Total employment, total output, total inflation rate in an economy, total literacy. So these all macroeconomic variables are aggregates. So these all are coming under macroeconomics, and here it is individual units. Now, the objectives of microeconomics and macroeconomics. What are the objectives of microeconomics? It's always the main objective is to maximize utility. So how to utilize how to maximize utility? It is through maximization of profit and minimization of what? Minimization of cost. And here the objectives are full employment, price stability, economic growth, and to have a conducive, favorable balance of payment and so on. Now, the third one is, so what are the techniques? It uses the technique of partial equilibrium analysis to explain equilibrium conditions of an individual or a firm or an industry. And at the same time, general equilibrium analysis are used in macroeconomics, because aggregates are always, equilibrium can be mentioned in generally, aggregates. And here, independent entities, single individual units. Again, microeconomics is a kind of static analysis, because time element is not at all considered at a point of time. What the state of an is a particular firm or an economy at a point of time. That is microeconomic study. And here it's over a period of time. because analysis become dynamic, static as well as dynamic. Static analysis is a part of microeconomics and dynamic analysis is a part of macroeconomics. Now again, more differences. Microeconomics assumes full employment, optimum allocation of resources and general price level is given. And what happens in macroeconomics? Is there any full employment situation? Yeah, there is a less than full employment situation in macroeconomics. You may be knowing it, Keynesian theory. It's not based on classicists. Classical economists were assumed full employment, and at the same time, Keynes assumes a situation in which less than full employment, because that is what Keynesian theory says. So it assumes a situation less than full employment and it studies underemployment and takes general price level as variable. Now again, another classification, microeconomic problems are many. It possesses maximum generality and applicability to a wide range of situations. And in case of macroeconomics, there won't be too much issues, but the issues are huge in size, because since they are dealing with aggregates, macroeconomic problems are relatively few, and so their specific solutions. Problems are few, solutions are also few. Got it? Now the next one, the main problem in microeconomics is of price determination. And when it comes to macroeconomics, what's the main problem? Income determination. Because aggregate income, per capita income, national income, these all are deciding over the aggregates of income determination is the headache of macroeconomic analysis. And microeconomics, price determination. Now another one, microeconomics is applied to operational or internal issues, and here macroeconomics is applied to external issues or environmental or external issues. Now we can classify microeconomics and macroeconomics on the basis of these things, on the basis of meaning. You know that, the classification. We already discussed it, but a different perception is given here on the basis of meaning. What is microeconomics and what is macroeconomics? Just go through the slide just for a simple reading. Then what it deals with, what microeconomics deals with and macroeconomics deals with, and the scope, then importance and also the limitations, all are given in a nutshell in a slide. And finally, let me ask you a question. Which comes first? Micro or macro? Micro. Why? Yeah, generally, basically, the problems are starting from a unit or from a single entity. And from that, we can go for generalizations. Further deliberations and explorations can lead to a generalization. This is what actually happens, and that's why microeconomics is the predecessor of macroeconomics. But generally, however, in an introductory economics, when we deal with a new issue, it doesn't mean that we should focus on microeconomic study. We can have a look on aggregates. We can start with macroeconomics and end up with single individual units. Anyway, the outcome will be same. Got it? Thank you for the patient listening. Thanks a lot.